Hello everyone, I spent over 200 days managing and building a Shire in the Minecolonies mod while fighting off intense raids, plagues, and working through 3 awesome research trees, and of course trying to keep track of all my needy citizens. Day 1 I spawn in a quaint little desert village. Goal number 1 will be to get enough resources to build a camp, which is really just 5 chests, and then we can get the beginnings of our Shire colony going. In the midst of raiding the village for everything they're worth, the villagers seem to have gathered, presumably meeting over many lost items. I'll be taking their sugarcane here, their beds, and the blast furnace. While searching for a large plains area to call home to our Shire in this seemingly unending desert, I come across an old Minecolonies town, which ironically has been called Evergreen, which according to the historic record, had been wiped out by a plague. British Toast hops in and decides to keep warmth as the desert nights are cold out here. We try not to breathe too much as we spend our first night here, and realize not only will we have to deal with massive raids coming to our Shire, we'll also have to deal with plagues. Day 2, we awake and promptly forget about the possible plagues. I'm sure this won't come back to haunt us in the future. We raid the remains of this village and take a brief look at our map, seeing that the closest plains is about 1,000 blocks southwest of us. On our journey, we find an ancient tomb. After entering, we quickly nope out of here, as zombies start to fall from the ceiling inside. Arriving in the plains, we discover a village has already been established here. We will be dealing with this in the future. And just before the end of our second day, we craft the supply camp, but we'll hold off to find the perfect spot to place this bad boy down. Today's goal is to start our colony. British Toast beckons me to follow her as she's found the perfect spot to erect our supply camp. I stop to trap a sheep, who will be the mayor of our colony for now, and then follow her here to our supply camp. Advancement made, Minecolonies. We have officially started the mod now. Being trapped in here anyway, I decide to see what our supply camp has to offer us. Some basic tools, some resources, a build tool, and a town hall. Hey BT, where should we place this? Does here look like a good spot? No, you want it a little farther back. Okay, let's put it all the way back here then. How's that sound? That looks good. We quickly fill in some lava as our mine colony villagers will try to swim in it. Day 4. After placing our town hall down, we officially found Hobbleton. Let's quickly add British Toast as an office here, and oh, look at that! We have our first villager. Hello, Archie Y. Baldwin. Wow, what a name. Archie would like to give us a little bit of guidance on the colony here, and seeing how this is our first foray into the mod, we accept. Archie informs me the first building that must be built is the Builder's Hut building. This will allow us to hire him as a builder to build the Builder's Hut building, so we can build buildings with the builder. As we plan out our first few buildings locations, let's talk briefly about the plan. Our goal is to build a Shire. Now I know Shire really just means county, but in this case we're going for more the Middle-earth Hobbit definition of a Shire. Hence the name Hobbleton. Many of our buildings will showcase these dark brown blocks with crossed builder's wands on them. These blocks will be our filler material, in this case dirt, and we'll connect to a sort of U-shaped hillside for now. We spend the rest of the day clearing out the area required for the builder's hut, not realizing Archie would have taken care of this for us. We make sure it fits, and then we head to bed. We don't want monsters taking out our only villager. Day 5, I wake up to the sound of British Toast calling for me to come see. It seems she's found a waystone very near our village, which we will be able to teleport to and from other waystones during our travels. Very useful. I find a golden chicken and proceed to trap it as well. For each building, we must craft what I will call the building core block. They're usually pretty cheap, especially starting out. We placed our first builder's hut. Construction tape will appear on the outsides, and Archie has been automatically assigned as the builder here. All we have to do now to get him started is select build options and build building. The builder begins. Now this builder's hut's core actually has a built-in inventory in order to give him the resources and tools he needs to build. As his work building is currently level 0, the only tools he can use are wood or stone. Look at the dozens of different buildings we can construct here, each with their own variants and 5 levels of upgrades. We're really excited to see some of the really cool ones like the barracks or the tavern, stonemaster's hut, archery, bakery, so many. Archie told me to make a resource scroll, which requires leather, so we're hunting cows. We'll be able to link this scroll to his builder's hut and always know what he's missing from the build he's currently working on. And Archie's died. Unfortunately, this will be the first of many deaths in our village. On the bright side, we got enough leather to make a resource scroll. Scrolls in hand, it's time to link these to the builder's hut. Archie has already been replaced by Layla Y. Glover, who has already quite a lot of requests here. The most notable of which is about 300 dirt, and it looks like we only have... I put off digging the rest of that dirt up and look into making some of the other blocks she needs. The architect's table is a crafting staple that will haunt us the entire game, as we constantly mix up which direction the beams and materials should go. Unfortunately for us, it is the only source of all the decoration blocks that this mod uses. Now that that's done, it's time to dig a hole. Oof, might as well grab a bit more food before the end of the day. And this should be the last of the dirt that Layla needs. With her fully supplied, we bed down after a busy day of shoveling. Day 7, I wake up and spend some time pushing Layla out of a fence post. It turns out she wasn't stuck though. Their AI is actually pretty good. Speaking of AI, let's talk briefly about the current way she builds. For now, she goes back and forth, one line at a time, causing her to travel a lot, even though many blocks are in her reach. In the future, we'll unlock some research for a better pathfinding algorithm called Hilbert, which kind of looks like this. After getting a little wood for some chests to reorganize our chaotic inventories, it looks like Layla has just finished her building, which at level 1 looks like a dirt house. Because it is. Let's take a look at what the other citizens that have spawned into her colony have to say. After telling Jasmine we have successfully placed the builder site, she instructs us our next step is to build a tavern so our citizens don't have to sleep outside. And more importantly, are safe at night. It sounds like a good move to me. Speaking of safety, we should probably get some of these guard towers going. We sleep away the villager-hungry monsters and then figure out where to place this cool new guard tower. Once the guard tower is built, it actually also serves as homes or residences for the guards stationed there to sleep at night at and be safe at night. Layla has a new laundry list of items for us, and also I'm a cow. An orange cow. We have the morph mod, so any animal I've unalived I can turn into. Some have abilities, but some are just fun. We also have a quest log now, which we can link to the town hall to track the quests our villagers will give us. Though obviously we have none yet. British Toast has an idea for our other guard tower up on this little kind of hill overlooking the cul-de-sac. Now you see why British Toast is here helping me out. This is a beautiful spot for this. Time to get started on that laundry list of items, some basic tools, and other resources. Okay, that took the rest of the day. Let's make as much as we can with these materials and give it to Layla. Day 9, I get a much needed iron upgrade for my pickaxe and test it out, getting some resources out of this new ravine I found. Remember that waystone we found earlier? That comes in handy as a quick teleport out of the ravine so we can head home and sleep just as the sun sets. Day 10, I think it's about time we get started with the create mod. First, we should smelt up all these resources we gathered and get a ton of wood. We'll use create to automate as many resources as we can, starting with cobblestone. Wait, what is that? We have a little farm growing on top of our house? Let's see what's up there. Carrots, potatoes, and wheat. Oh, perfect. The holy trinity of village foods. Layla seems to have stopped working, so I go over to see what she needs. Turns out, she's stuck in a hole. And this is not the last time that will happen. Fortunately, all I need to do is give her a shovel and stock the extra ones in her hut. And that's it for day 10. Day 11, it's time to build some water wheels to power up a cobblestone generator. This looks good, but is going to require way more gears to speed this thing up. There we go. We officially have our first automation. And it only took 2 days to make. In between building the water wheels and trying to speed it up, I found Layla stuck in a hole. Again. At least she's with Allie this time, who would really like a house to live on. I know. We're working on it, buddy. Day 12, I stay up way too late trying to herd some cows, and Jasmine's life is the cost of that. At least she's not a builder, so I don't mind too much, but at this point I had failed to realize that when someone in your colony dies, nobody works the next day, because they are mourning. So yeah, that makes the beginning a pretty slow process. Luckily, you could watch this heavily edited, so it won't feel like that to you. A quick note on that, I know these videos are a bit different from my normal content, and actually they require a ton of man hours put into especially editing. So if you do enjoy or just want to help out the channel, and by proxy my sanity, give the video a like or leave a comment, as I do respond to all of them. Thank you. Look at all the cows we've herded. Well, mostly cows. I'm pretty sure one of these is a sheep. We have plenty of wheat to breed them with, so we can make a bunch of those cute little calves. And then juice their parents in front of them for the leather. Layla, how are you stuck in a hole again? What could you possibly need? Oh, that pickaxe. Okay, well, I guess that's fair. Over the next couple of days, I'd like to go to the nether and get a lot of resources, which is going to fill my inventory much too quickly, so I make a gold backpack. Layla, again? Really? Oh my goodness, how do you keep getting stuck in holes? There, I'll just dig this little thing out. Now you're free. How's that sound? What do you want? Oh, you want another pickaxe. Okay, how about I make 5? Wait, where the heck did you go? It looks like you snuck by me? Here, this should last you a while. Let's uncover that surface lava pit so we can use it to make a nether portal. We'll just have to remember to cover it up afterwards so villagers don't decide to go swimming in it like a hot spring. Gosh, I really should have made this portal a lot closer to the lava pool, or at least made another bucket. This took almost a whole day just to make a nether portal. Hi, Layla. How's it going? Okay, no response from her. Oh, there she goes. More cows, always more cows. We need leather. We need lots of leather. I think we can afford to spend a little time helping Layla out here. She's got a lot to mine, and I've got a better pickaxe. There you go. Okay. Hey, she started building. Look at that. It's Pretty cool. Before we go to the nether, I need to absorb the delicious juice of this parrot. Nah, now we can fly. Perfect. There is a slight bug, however, with this mod. Unfortunately, it looks like if I eat bread while a parrot or some other creatures, it poisons me. But it also completely freezes the game, making me unable to morph into anything else or really interact with a whole lot. Until the tick rate all catches up all at once and kills me. So no eating while morphed. Got it. While I was debugging all of that, look at all the progress Layla has made on the guards tower. If you come down here, this little spiral staircase, you can see the bed I was talking about and a chest for some more storage for the guards. It's pretty cool. I spend the entirety of day 16 afterwards flying around the nether and getting as many resources as I can. The parrot makes it pretty convenient to just fly up and gather some quartz and glowstone and other nice nether goodies. After looting a few bastions, I come home with a diamond pickaxe and some nice new armor. I stayed out a little too late, and some skeletons were actually still alive when I woke up on day 17. I still have yet to realize that Pierce dying makes the whole colony shut down the next day, as they have to mourn him now. Let's add the next guard tower to the queue of buildings, as it looks like Layla has finally finished up this guard tower. Now that it's done, Larry has also decided he's taken up the job here as an archer, and needs a bow to protect our colony. Good thing that's easy enough. Larry also wants leather armor, but that's a bit out of my price range. In other news, these new nether structures have a lot of materials and resources needed to expand more and to create, like chain drives, gears, pulleys, and even some water wheels. Oh god, are you guys okay? They all just tanked a point-blank creeper shot. I wish I could do that. Larry seems to do an alright job protecting the colony, but we definitely need some more guards if this single zombie can push into him even with my help. And there goes Mrs. Rhino. Well, it seems our settlement will be built on the bodies of its founders. Hopefully not us, though. It looks like Layla died earlier too from a zombie. Well, that's alright, we have a new builder, Allie. And there she goes. I spent day 20 and 21 looting the nether and getting a ridiculous amount of resources, including gold. Lots of gold. I'd like to build a beacon at some point after we kill the wither, so hopefully that can give us a little bit of speed or health or regeneration or something to help protect our colonists. Look at the ridiculous amount of loot we've collected to help automate more with Create. But before we do that, I want to take a little look at the mod Tom's Simple Storage. If you've ever played around with Applied Energistics or ever made an ME system for digital storage, this mod is like a budget version of that. It's not quite digital storage, but it does allow access to all of the inventories connected to the aptly named inventory connector through the crafting interface placed above right here. Well, Larry the Archer didn't last very long, and is replaced by Evie, who wants a wood or golden machete to work as a knight. As wood machetes don't actually exist, or at the very least aren't craftable, I have to make her a gold one. It was about this point that I realized when people die, the colony doesn't work and mourns the entire next day, but I looked a little deeper into the code, and this excludes guards. So when a guard dies, the people don't actually care. They're heartless. Perfect. Alfredo has finished the guard tower, so it's time to build our town hall, which requires a massive new laundry list of items, but is a much larger, proper building. This new list of items is mostly made from oak wood, which means it's time to start our create automations. The first farm I'd like to make is an oak wood farm, obviously. After putting a belt down to transfer mechanical power, I make a mill and mill up some of these ferns and get green dye because I'll need that to get glue to make our creations. I will also need a mechanical press setup to bonk some of these iron ingots into iron plates. In the meantime, Damon has decided to station himself at the new guard tower. He will take this pretty powerful bow to help in his archer duties. Back to create. In order to speed up our bonker for more iron sheets, an adjustable chain gear shift supplied with a redstone signal will have to do the trick for now, as a speed controller takes a little bit more in terms of infrastructure to make. This is the rough idea for our create tree farm. It's basically going to be a bunch of saws going around in a circle, cutting down trees, dropping off the materials in the chest on the right here. While I work on this, I do want to make sure Alfredo has everything he needs to keep building the town hall. Let's get back to this tree farm. Well, that doesn't look right. It seems I've missed some glue spots. Whoops. And now that that's all glued up, the chop part of our tree farm is working. We do need the whole growing part of the tree farm to work though. We'll be making deploys for that, which requires brass made in a mixer heated by a blaze burner. Scoop. If we feed our new blaze pet a little coal and pop some copper and zinc into this basin below the mixer, it will make our brass for us now. Up until day 35, I spent just getting resources because some of the future builds are big. Really big. This is the player house, aka Bag's End, which will take a long time to get the resources built and even longer to build. It is a very late game building. For now, let's take a look at the warehouse. This is also a large building, but it greatly helps decrease the amount of work we need to do as we get more and more builders. If we stock the warehouse with items the builders need, then couriers, who work at the warehouse, will handle the micromanaging of taking items to each building. Day 36. We really need to finish this tree farm now, so let's get these deployers going and glue them to the machine. After filtering them for saplings, they will automatically take them from the machine's inventory, in this case the chest in the center, and plant them behind the saws. Looks like it's working now. Perfect. British Toast has been very busy making sure Alfredo has everything he needs to build a residence, and oh my god, he's stuck in a hole again. Come on, Alfredo, what was I saying? Yeah, each residence houses 1 citizen per level of the residence, maxing out at a 5 citizens when the building hits its max level 5. Where a citizen lives also determines the max level that they can train their skills to. For example, a builder has 2 important skills that will increase over time: adaptability and athletics. Adaptability determines how quickly they will place their blocks, and athletics obviously determines how quickly they break the blocks. These stats naturally max out at 50, but are capped by the level of the worker's house. So if Alfredo lives here, which he would really like to due to the proximity of his work building, they don't enjoy having to walk more than 80 or so blocks each day to commute to and from work, and will complain about it. He will be capped by the level 1 housing, so max stats at 10. As a note, if he has any stats above 10, it will not decrease them to meet the soft cap, they will just no longer train until his housing is better. Day 37, I wake up, forget I'm ferret, and eat some bread, putting the gluten time bomb of a tick destroyer into action. Fantastic. I have an idea to resolve the bug as the poison ticks down all the way to 0 seconds and nothing happens, so I do a /kill, and nothing happens. This bug is very strange. I want to take a little look at the types of fields we can have our villagers build and work. Bamboo, cactus, cocoa vines, kelp, nether fungus, nether vines, sea pickles, and sugarcane. Well, I can't imagine most of these being that useful, except maybe the sugarcane field. Once we tell our builders to start building a library, I imagine we're going to need quite a few books. So a lot of paper, so a lot of sugarcane. The husbandry, on the other hand, has a couple useful buildings to us, specifically cowhands for leather, and shepherds, as these buildings are starting to use a lot of different colors wool. It looks like this mod also has some magic down the line with the mystical buildings like the enchanter's hut, graveyard, mystical site, and a nether mine. I'm very interested to see what those do for us. Our tree farm has been pumping out lots of oak wood for us. Unfortunately, Damien keeps getting himself stuck on holes behind the building that our builder is building, and British Toast has to keep digging him out. Just can't help yourself, can you, buddy? Look at the progress that's been made on the residence. It's starting to look like a proper building now. Damon is making sure there's no funny business going on with this traveling trader, it looks like. I also don't trust anyone wandering around with 2 llamas looking to trade. We have been running out of inventory space in our terminal much too often. So far, we've mostly been using these barrels as they all connect to each other and then the inventory connector by proxy. However, there are also upgraded versions of chests from the same sophisticated storage mod, which will link up as well. So a handful more of these double copper chests will give us a huge increase in storage. I'm aghast. Whee! These guys are slow. Anyway, digging this little hole for our storage also has the benefit of looking much nicer on the surface, especially if we get rid of these cables sticking out of the back for no reason now. In the meantime, despite our builders being very busy making this nice little residence for them, Alfredo has decided to stay out in the rain and complain about his clothes getting wet. Go inside. Go inside then. Our other citizens also have complaints about the lack of housing, which is fair considering the single level 1 residence we have only has enough room for 1 person. Which, as you can see, is Alfredo, our builder. While we're here, let's put an upgrade request in for this housing. Oh yeah, we need a level 2 builder's hut to level any building to level 2. Well, that'll have to wait a little bit. Day 40. After upgrading our storage just a little bit more just in case, it's time to make a trip to the nether for some ender pearls. Okay, back home. That should be enough ender pearls for now. I really only needed a couple because eventually I want to make wireless crafting terminals to access our inventory storage from anywhere. Also, fun fact, you know how blazes hate water? Yeah, if you are a blaze during the rain, you will take damage pretty quickly. The mod Apotheosis is what adds in these quote-unquote boss mobs. They usually aren't too tough to deal with, but they can do quite a number on our villagers if they get too close. Especially the ones with ranged weapons. This guy does a lot of damage actually. Let's get out of here. Oh, great. Let's get our stuff. Oh no, British Toast also died. That usually means something is in the village. Ooh, we've scored ourselves a skeleton horse. These guys are really cool and for some reason don't burn up in the rain like normal skeletons. I guess they have stronger bones? Either way, we're gonna keep Bony Boy here as a little mascot. Day 41, there is a second skeleton horse stuck atop one of our fruit trees. Oh, well, I guess we aren't gonna get another mascot, are we? Even more unfortunate, British Toast noticed a little glitch in our storage system. The way sophisticated storage entities interact with the Tom's Simple Storage mod makes it so the terminal shows we have double the items than we really do. No, it doesn't actually duplicate the items, it just shows as double, which is really inconvenient for trying to figure out what you have. So I'll have to find some other way of storing our items. Ignoring that for now, I help terraform a little bit and then take a look at the builder's goggles from Minecolonies. Despite them saying they do nothing, they actually, well, they do nothing. I don't know why I made these. They look pretty neat though. Oh yeah, that's why I made them. Alfredo wants them for a quest for whatever reason. Well, that's about as long as I can ignore this storage system problem. In a fit of rage or frustration, I just start breaking the copper chests. I don't know why. I don't really have anywhere else to put the items, so I have to wind up just putting them back. Well, British Toast was taken out by 4 which is a phenomenal name, so I help her get a revenge real quick. And then I spend the next couple of days debugging this storage conundrum, finally landing on just making a big old vault from Create. We already have a bunker, so the iron plates are easy enough to get, and it's easily expandable. So our new storage system consists of this vault and some leftover drawers for large quantities of items like oak wood. Day 44, I realized we don't actually have any work requests in right now, and I have to dig out the Builder's Hut core block to put in the request. There we go. Briella should get working on that now. Oh, it looks like she needs some tools. Here you go. And here are all the tools you could possibly need. Let's go ahead and make that wireless terminal, which I quickly realize isn't extremely useful as the unupgraded version. It really only extends our reach by about 16 blocks when trying to access the terminal. So yeah, not amazing. We'll have to get that upgraded soon. Okay, let's see what it takes to get this upgraded to the advanced wireless terminal. A wireless terminal, obviously, a netherite ingot, and a smithing template. This is actually very doable, but I'm going to have a lot of work to do in the nether. The advanced wireless terminal has a range of 64 blocks. Similar to the other wireless terminal, it just really extends our reach. But if we have a level 1 beacon within 8 blocks of our storage area, then it'll allow us to access our terminal anywhere in the dimension. And if we upgrade that beacon up to a level 4 beacon, then we can access our terminal in any dimension. Flying around as a blaze and looting bastions turned out to be extremely profitable, as we now have over 60 blocks of gold. In other news, Briella has made some progress on the warehouse, so I think it's time we start planning out some more future important buildings, like the tavern. The tavern not only acts as housing for some of our citizens, it will also attract some visitors to the colony who we can hire if we have enough housing. See the problem here? Yeah, we need to build a lot more residences. But when we are able to grant citizenship to those visitors staying in Hobbleton, they will have much better starting stats than our current citizens. Thank God, because our builder is very, very slow. I think this looks like the perfect spot for our tavern, right next to our town hall. Let's just grab our tavern core block real quick and... Okay, let's put the work order in, and Alfredo should get started almost immediately. Oh, there we go. Now let's check in on our colonists. Briella is still very upset that she doesn't have a house. Fair enough, but nothing I can do about that immediately. And Alfredo wants a hoe to continue working. Well, here you go, Alfredo. Here are all the hoes you could ask for. Be nice to them. The tavern needs a lot of new resources. So while British Toast gets starting on what we can make, I go convert our tree farm to spruce trees, as we have enough oak wood for now and will need spruce for future buildings and upgrades. Day 49, the tavern needs a restaurant core block, which is interesting. It must be attached to it somehow. I'm very intrigued to see how that turns out. Hey, remember that massive player house? I think we're gonna put that over here and have a beautiful view of Hoppleton as it grows into a massive shire. So far, 50 days in, we have one quaint little residence for Alfredo, a level 2 builder's hut with a cool basement storage for him, a second builder's hut, which, one sec, needs digging out real quick. Oof, what a job. And of course we have our town hall and a couple guard towers for safety. So I've got some big news. We are launching a Minecolonies community server soon. Go ahead and join the Discord to be a part of the open beta testing for it, and you'll get an OG Elder Dragon role and a head start on building your massive civilization. And as always, you can support me in the launch of this server through my Ko-Fi in the description. Also, huge shout out to British Chose for being an incredible help. Thank her in the comments for me, or even better, you can thank her yourself in the Discord server. She really helped keep the colony productive over the next hundreds of days. And as always, have a good one, everyone.